Welcome to Remote Income Academy, and I'm going to show you how to land remote jobs and clients that pay in dollars. Who am I? My name is Barry. I'm a software engineer and a digital marketing specialist, and I've trained over 3,000 people over the last 5 to 7 years on how to make money online. You can find me on X, that's Twitter at Barry Suka FX, and follow me there if you like to do that. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. And actually, the first time I ever made money online was in 2013 when I launched an e-commerce website. I was selling female fashion items on that website, and it did very, very well. I remember the first iPhone I bought, I think that was an iPhone 5. It was from this e-commerce fashion business. And around 2017, 2018, I started training people on web development, and I started also offering web development services. Remember, I said I'm a software engineer. This is what I did in school. I have a software engineering degree, so I know how to build websites. And so I started building websites for people, building websites for companies, and I was also offering copywriting services. This was around 2017, 2018, up to I think 2020, 2019. So I was training people and also offering these services. Now, you might be wondering, how did I even get into copywriting? I got into copywriting when I was doing the e-commerce business, the fashion business, because I wanted to learn how to sell my clothes better online. And so I started doing marketing, content creation, and that was when I got into copywriting and I learned copywriting. I knew how to, sell, and that's why today I'm a digital marketing specialist. It was because of that one decision I made to start a fashion e-commerce website in 2013. Again, all this was in Naira, right? I was in Nigeria. I was doing all this stuff, and I didn't make my first dollar until 2020 when I made my first dollar on Upwork for $45. A job I did on Upwork. It was actually $35, but I did it so well. The client gave me a tip, a $10 tip. And in 2020, making $45, of course, earning in dollar was, it just opened my head, opened my mind into wow, I can actually do this and scale this. Before then, I've been earning in Naira. I've been just doing stuff in Naira, getting Nigerian clients and all that. So this was what opened my eyes into how to make money online, of course, and how to make it in dollars. Now, by the end of the session, you will know exactly how people like you and me are landing jobs that pay in dollars and the steps you can take to join them. You need to be the next set of persons or people that will join this thing that is happening, how people are making money in dollars. And I'm sure you've been hearing remote work, remote work. By now, you will have been hearing remote work, remote work. Everybody's talking about it and making money online, making money in dollars, and working for a US company from the comfort of your, you know, wherever you are. So, what is remote work? Remote work is the practice of performing job duties outside of a traditional office environment using digital tools for communication and collaboration. Remote workers can work from home, a coffee shop, or a co-working space. As a remote worker, you will mostly be employed by a company working long term and getting paid a salary. Freelancing. I'm sure you've also heard the word freelancing. In fact, freelancing was more popular before remote work became more popular. At the end of the day, it's almost the same thing, but there's a slight difference. Freelancing is a form of self-employment where individuals or people like you and me offer their professional services to clients on a project by project or contract basis. So remember when I said I was building websites and offering marketing, copywriting services to clients? This was me doing freelancing. I was offering it to self-employment and I was offering it as a professional service to clients on project by project basis. Um, Again, I was not working for any company. I was just doing this on my own and making my money. So rather than being a full-time employee of a single company, you're doing this for several clients, doing it for several people, doing it for several projects, doing it for several companies. So freelancers manage their own work, schedules, and finances and may work for multiple clients at the same time. So then when I was building those websites, I had several clients at the same time that I always was always working with, and if I finish a gig, there's always one that will come up and all that. So I mean, it was fun times. You can do both. Remote work is not freelancing, but you can do both. One gives you freedom, the other one gives you stability. So the freelancing gives you freedom because you're not really tied to a particular company, or you're not really tied to a particular client. You finish the work, you move on, you look for another client, you do the work, you move on, you make your money, you move on, right? But the other gives you stability, which is remote work. Remote work basically gives you stability because you are now attached to one company, and you're working for them maybe for a long term, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, depending on how long you stay with them. But both of them can make you earn in dollars if you know what you're doing. And with the digital skill, you can do remote work and also work as a freelancer. This opens you up to more opportunities to make more money as long as you're able to deliver excellent work. You can take as many as 3 to 4 clients paying you at least $1,000 each. Um, so why now? Why remote work? Why is this becoming very popular? Why is everybody doing it? It became very popular during the pandemic. This was when, I'm sure you witnessed the pandemic. Everybody was indoors, companies were shutting down, people were working from home. Right? So it became popular in 2020. And this was the best time to start remote work. The second best time is now. If you've not gotten into it, this is the right time to get into remote work before it becomes too saturated, before everybody gets in. A lot of people are already getting in, and you also need to get in. So why are people doing it? Of course, there's a economic reality. Everything is going up these days. Cost of living is high. Companies are trying to, cut costs. So remote work is survival, not luxury. Companies just want to, um, have more affordable labor for the same quality. So, how do you find these remote jobs? How do you find these jobs that are paying in dollars? First, you need to have a skill. That's the first thing. And these are the top skills that are paying right now. These are the top skills that you need to have, and you can land a remote job in the next 1 to 3 months. And the first one is writing. It could be content writing or it could be copywriting. The second one is marketing, social media, email, content marketing. If you can do these things and you know it very well, in the next 30 to 90 days, 1 to 3 months, you can land a remote job that will pay you in dollars. The third one is video editing, TikTok style edits. I mean, TikTok, you've seen those videos where, I mean, those fast moving videos with big captions, that are really cool. And a lot of companies are looking for people that can edit like that. If you know how to edit like that, put those cool captions, make those fast moving videos. Trust me, in the next 30 to 90 days, you will land a job that will pay you in dollars. In fact, I saw one job for video editing. That was last week. They said you make 8 videos a month, and I think about 20 minutes each. Just edit 8 videos a month, about 20 minutes each, and for 2,600, either 2,600 or one. I'm not sure anymore. 1,600 or $2,600, right? Just 8 videos every month. So basically, 2 videos a week, and you're done, right? So I mean, it's cool money. You're earning this kind of money just to edit videos. Now, I also saw how much they paid for short form videos, which is those TikTok style videos. So let's say they're paying you $1,600 for 8 videos in a month. So if it's gonna be the short videos, those TikTok videos, maybe they can say maybe you do let's say 20 or 25 in a month for the same price, right? I mean, so you edit 20 videos. So that means you edit, let's say, one video a day, one short TikTok, 30 second, 40 second, 60 seconds video in a day, and you will earn as high as $1,000 plus, $2,000 plus, right? So a lot of companies are looking for video editors. If you know how to edit like this, you know how to do marketing, social media, email marketing, content writing, copywriting. These are the skills that are paying. These are the hot skills. The next one is design. If you know how to do Canva designs, right? You can get a job for making Canva designs, maybe for social media. pages for social companies, for agencies. I mean, there are a lot of companies that want, simple flyers done. And if you know how to use Canva, you'll get this job. Then there's Figma, product design, UI, UX. I'm sure you've heard of those things, right? You know how to design apps, you know how to design websites, right? The design, not the building part of it, just the design, just the way you have an architect that draws a house first before the bricklayers come and start, putting the blocks together. So the architect in this case for apps is called a product designer. I'm saying this for people that don't already know what a product designer or a UI UX designer is, right? So if you know how to, design websites, you know how to design apps, using Figma, a lot of people are looking for people that like that. A lot of companies are looking for people like that. Graphic design, if you know how to do flyers, thumbnails, YouTube thumbnails, for a lot of people that are making YouTube videos. They're looking for thumbnail designers. If you know how to design a thumbnail, you know how to design flyers. And all those church flyers, you can do very beautiful, really good quality, high quality design. You would earn in dollars. The next one is website building. If you know how to build WordPress website, you know how to build Webflow websites and Framer websites. A lot of companies are paying a lot of money in dollars if you know how to do these things. Then last one is automation. This one is everywhere. Everybody's doing automation right now. Zapier, and Make, right? So I mean, if you know how to automate things, basically automation is let me give you a basic simple example. Let's say I have an email, a Gmail, right? And let's say if I receive an email, I want it to automatically do this, right? Or if someone clicks, let's say you register for this course, for example, right? You register for this course, and as soon as you register, you will get an email, right? Immediately. So that is automation. So I'm not doing it manually. And when people register, I don't look at the list and start manually sending everybody email. No, instead, it's going to be automated. In the next 5-10 minutes, you're going to get an email, right? So when you open that email, maybe after like 10 days or like 2 days or like 3 days or like 1 hour, I can send you another email again automatically. You just receive another email. Now, people that don't know this would think I sent you an email after 2 days. I can even write in the email, hey, it's been 2 days, you bought this course, how's it going? Or hey, it's been 1 week, you bought this course, how's it going? Are you enjoying it? Have you learned something? What are you? How can I help? That kind of thing, right? And maybe if you read it, you would think, oh, maybe I manually did it. No, I didn't do it. It's automated. I cannot maybe, let's say 100 people pay for this course, 100 people buys this course, right? And I cannot start manually sending everybody one email. No, it's automation, right? So if you know how to do automation, know how to automate things, automate workflows, make things. If A happen, or if A does this, let B do this, or if A happens, let B happen, right? You make those simple automation. If people register for this course, let them receive an email. And if they receive an email and then click the link and it takes them to the video, and that means they have started watching the video, they've started watching the course. After 7 days, send them another email again. Just simple automations like if you know how to do it, you would get a dollar paying job. Now, of course, these are the main ones. Now, if you really want to get found faster, you want to apply and you want to stand out, you have to niche down, right? So let's say, for example, you're not just, you know how to build websites. Maybe you learn how to build Framer, right? Or Webflow, you learn Webflow or WordPress or Framer, how to build websites. And you, instead of building websites for every kind of client, maybe you build for lawyers, you build for tech companies, you build for a catering company, you can just niche down. You can dedicate yourself to saying you are a web designer for only fashion brands. You're a web designer for only e-commerce, fashion e-commerce, right? You're a web designer for only tech companies, for only lawyers. You're focused on just lawyers, right? So your portfolio will also reflect that. And so it's one of the easiest way to make your life easier to stand out. And what are the platforms where you can find these jobs? Upwork. Upwork is like the number one platform right now where a lot of people are looking for jobs and getting jobs. Remember, I told you the first place I actually earned my first dollar was on Upwork. And since then, it has been bliss. LinkedIn is also where people are searching for jobs, right? So people use a lot of Boolean search. So you go to LinkedIn and you type social media and hiring, or website designer hiring, or website designer and remote, right? So people are using LinkedIn to land different kind of roles. Then there's another platform called Well Found. People are using that to land roles. There's also Simply Hired, Remote OK, we work remotely. These are several platforms where you can find jobs. Then there's Product Hunt, producthunts.com. This is just where startups, maybe new companies that are coming up, go to list their companies, right? So you go there, list your startup. And so what people do, or what you can do with Product Hunt, is to go there, you know, search for companies, they categorize them into different categories. So maybe you are a content writer, a social media manager. That's what you do, or that's what you know, and you want to focus on maybe health startups, or you want to focus on fashion startups or fashion companies, right? So you can go there and search for fashion companies, and see their names, find their websites, and check maybe their career page, find their email, and pitch them directly. And this is like one other shortcut that a lot of people use, that I have also used. Instead of going to Upwork where it's overcrowded, going to all these other platform, Well Found, Simply Hired, where it's overcrowded, because those jobs, there's like hundreds of people applying for a single job with you, right? So an easier way or shortcut that most people use is to go through Product Hunt, the search for a startup, search for a lot of startups, and just pitch them directly, meaning they apply to them directly instead of from job platforms. And we have Facebook and WhatsApp group. So a lot of people, I know a friend that got a job from WhatsApp group. So there are a lot of WhatsApp groups. If you type maybe remote jobs platform on what's on, I'm sorry, on Facebook. I was referring to Facebook group. If you type remote work platform on Facebook, you see a lot of groups that you can join. People are always posting jobs there. People are always searching for people to hire in those groups, and even on WhatsApp group too. I'm in one of them, one of those WhatsApp groups where they post jobs. There's about 1,000 people in that WhatsApp group. They post jobs every day in that group. And the last one is volunteering. You see that a lot, maybe if you're on Twitter or if you're on LinkedIn, right? They're looking for volunteers. If you're just starting out, if this is your first time, maybe you don't have any experience, you're trying to get a remote job and you want to build experience, you want to have, something to put on your CV, right? Volunteering is one of the easiest way. You see them a lot on social media, NGOs. I mean, find them. There are a lot of ways to find them. Google search and apply to them, tell them you want to volunteer. The goal, especially when you're beginning, is not for the money, it's just to have an experience, to have something to say, oh, I've worked with a company in the UK, I've worked in a company with a company in the US, and and just volunteer and have that experience so that you can put it on your CV or your portfolio. And of course, apart from putting it there, you have the experience so that when you start looking for jobs that will actually pay you, um, you have something to show that you have done something like this before. All right. So another thing too about applying to jobs is keep applying. You might send 100 messages, 100 applications before one person replies, right? Or before you get one job. But that one job can change your life. But then if you know what you're doing, you don't even need to send 100 messages. You don't need to apply 100 times to find that one job or that one client or that one contract that will change your life. And if you have the skills and you know the exact words to use in proposals or in applications or in your cover letter, and you also know how to, package your portfolio, how to optimize your CV, how to optimize your social media pages, your bio, your LinkedIn, your Facebook, you know, your page that shows that this is what you can do. If you know how to put the right words, you know how to optimize it to make it look good. We call it packaging. If you know how to package it, right? You don't need to send 100. By the time you do 20, 30, you will get a reply, you will get a job. Again, sometimes you need to still do more, maybe 30, 40, 50, depends, right? But I mean, it's all a numbers game. Most people do this there because they're hearing about remote jobs. They feel like, oh, if I do this, if I learn this skill, and in 10 days, 20 days, in 30 days, I'll get a job. Some people stay 6 months without getting a job. I'll have to be honest, right? Because I mean, a lot of people, you're competing with a lot of people, but if you keep trying, if you keep pushing, and I mean, you will land a job. And only one job, one, one is all you need. One job, especially a long-term job, not a contract, a long-term job that you can work from 1 to 3 years. That is all you need. You go from earning almost nothing to earning a lot of money. You're going to be earning millions. If you're watching this from Nigeria, you're going to be earning millions of naira, right? Which is thousands of dollars every month consistently. So the next thing I want to tell you about is building a personal brand and portfolio. It's one of the ways that you can stand out and get these companies to hire you easily or find you faster. Your content game must be top notch. So, this is a full course on its own, teaching you how to create content for your social media, for your portfolio, for your personal brand, right? If you know how to create a personal brand, you're going to stand out. If 100 people are applying, they're going to pick you first because you have a personal brand, a strong personal brand. You have a portfolio, everything is intact, everything is strong, everything is top notch, it is world class. LinkedIn optimization, you have everything. You have recommendations on your LinkedIn, or your social media, on your portfolio, right? And another thing too that will make you stand out is having portfolios tailored to the different things you do. Like for me, I have website designing skills. I know how to build websites. I know copywriting very well. I'm a master copywriter. I also do a lot of social media content writing. So I have portfolios. I have 4 different portfolios, and I also have 4 different CVs. So it depends on what I'm applying for, depending on what I'm looking for, depending on the client I'm trying to meet or the client I'm trying to approach. That's what I'm going to send to them. A lot of people make the mistake of putting everything they know how to do inside one portfolio. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to know how to stand out. And if you want to stand out, tailor your portfolio, tailor your CV according to the job, according to the skills you have, so that when you want to apply, like if you know how to write, if you're a writer, there's a high chance you would also know content writing, there's a high chance you might know copywriting. You can separate them. You can say, okay, I can do content writing. You can put content writing and in one portfolio, and you put the copywriting in another portfolio, because again, those are 2 different things. They are still writing, but they are 2 different things, right? So you can separate them and tailor your CV to look like that. Another way that, apart from this platform, do this personal branding, is cold outreach. This is something I do very well, and I feel like I am a master at it. I'm because I'm very active online on social media, especially on Twitter. If I'm scrolling, I would see a lot of people that want something, that are doing something. They don't even need to say they want something. I could just look at their profile and see that, okay, this person is doing something. I think I can, give value to this person. Maybe, for example, I feel like I can redesign their website. I can their website does not look really good, right? I can give them a better website. All I'll just do is, hey, send them a message and say, hey, I'm a website designer. Here's my portfolio, blah 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 blah, and I'll tell them why I think that they need to redesign their website. You don't just come and say, I'm a website designer. You have to also tell them why you believe they need to redesign it and what's going to happen when they redesign it, right? You're going to say you're going to get a faster website. Faster website means if people click on your link, it will load quickly and then they would read what they want to read. Imagine you click a website and it doesn't open quickly. It takes forever to load. You might just get angry and close it, because that's how humans are. We don't have patience these days. So you can say, okay, faster websites convert 20% more. You can use Google to fact check and make sure that you're giving the right figure, right? And you can, add this research to it and say faster websites convert 20, 30%, whatever the figure is, convert more, right? You can also say, if you're doing SEO, you can say, if you do more SEO, or if you have a better SEO on your website, and people can find you more, people can find your business more. And websites that have better SEO, they convert 30% more. Meaning, if you're doing $10,000 in sales per month, if you do a better SEO, your business can start doing 40 to $50,000 per month. And if you keep optimizing and increasing it in the next, say, 6 months, your business can start doing $100,000 per month. As a business person, if someone comes and tells you that and shows you proof and tells you, I have done this before, look at my portfolio, I'm not just talking, wouldn't you want to indulge the person? Wouldn't you want to say, okay, you look like someone that can do this, come and do this for me? Of course, you want to say yes, right? So this is something I do a lot. In fact, I do more of this than even trying to go to platforms to apply. I do more of cold DM, cold messaging, you know, cold emailing because I'm always online. I see a lot of people, I see things, I see where I'm going to add value. And people too, I receive this kind of messages too. A lot of people send me cold DM, cold. In fact, I remember there was a lady, this was last week. She's a skin therapist, she does skincare, whatever. She sent me this beautiful email. Sorry, a DM on Twitter. I read it and I was wowed. I replied immediately. Of course, I know I have good skin. I don't have a problem with my skin. But the message she sent me was so good, I could not resist it. Right. Now that means she has knowledge, very strong knowledge on how to, send messages like this that clients cannot resist. Um, so again, like I said, find problems, suggest a fix, and show how you can deliver. Right. And also lastly, tell them if you deliver, this is what will happen to their business. This is what will happen. They need to know that. And of course, we can't just start sending people messages when your portfolio or your profile is not showing competence. Like that lady, when she sent me that message, already the message already did the job, but I had to check her profile. I checked her profile. I was like, okay, this person knows what she's doing, right? So your profile needs to scream competence before you message anyone. Your portfolio needs to scream that you know what you're doing, that you're the master at it. You can't tell somebody, I know how to do this, and then they look at your profile and they are seeing comedy videos, they are seeing funny videos, they are seeing things, gossips, they are seeing things that do not relate to you, that do not relate to the job you're saying, they are seeing things that do not make any sense, right? So people need to look at your profile and immediately they'll say, okay, yes, what this person sent me, this person can deliver, right? So what next? I've shown you how remote work really works, but the truth is, this is just the surface. Learning the skill, I've shown you the top skills you need to learn, the top skills that are very hot right now. I've shown you how you need to find these things, the platforms that you can apply, and how to do cold DM, how to do cold outreach. But again, this is just the surface. This is just the surface. That's why I'm introducing you to this course, the Remote Income Academy. And in this course, this is what you're going to learn how to master the tools. Now, there are a lot of tools that you need to know um, to be able to build your portfolio and position yourself for getting these remote jobs. You're also going to get step-by-step models. You're going to get portfolio templates. I'm going to show you several templates that you can try to you know redesign and use for yourself. I'm also going to add you to the community. You'll go from curious to being employable in 1 to 3 months, right? This is what this course is going to do. So let me show you some of the tools that let me show you some to learn in this course. So let me be getting in this course. One of the things you're going to be learning is the foundation, the mindset, right? The mindset. You need to learn. There are some certain soft skills that you're going to learn, and that apart from those tools, those hard tools, I'll get to the tools, but there are some certain skills, soft skills you're going to learn. And one of them is how to communicate properly, how to be professional, problem solving frameworks that will make you indispensable, right? You've seen situations where they hire people or they hire someone you hear after 1 month, after 2 months. In fact, the company where I work for right now, there was a lady that they hired. That lady did not stay for 2 months and she's gone. And I was wondering why. I don't know why, but for whatever reason. In fact, I was looking at it. I was talking with one of my colleagues, and that, oh wait, we don't see these people again. Or what's going on? And we found out that 2 people had recently left. And these people did not even stay up to 3 months. They had just gone. Right. Of course, they did they did interview on them. amongst other people. They saw that, okay, this is the person we are going to pick. And then they started the job, and all of a sudden they left. It's probably because of maybe they didn't have the soft skills. Maybe they know how to use the tools, but they didn't have the soft skills. They didn't know how to communicate properly. Maybe they didn't know how to manage their time. Maybe they didn't know problem solving, right? If something happens, how do you de-escalate it? How do you solve um these problems? They didn't know all that stuff. So by the end of this model, you will know exactly what makes remote workers successful and how to position yourself as a reliable professional hire, even with zero experience. Remember, you're working with a US company or UK, Canada, all these companies in the first world countries. They want professionals. You're not going to come there and do anyhow. You have to be on your 100%. You have to be on your, you have to be at your your highest. You have to be at your best, because if you're not at your best, there's at least 100,000 people ready to take that your job and do it for cheap. So you have to be 100%. You have to give it, you have to be the most reliable person. They need to know that you're doing your job and you're doing it very, very well, right? So that's what that model will teach you. Now, in model two, this is where we are going to learn the tools. The first tools you're going to learn is the Google Workspace. You're going to learn Google Docs, Google Sheets. I'm going to show you a little bit of things, trick tips and tricks around Gmail, Calendar, Drive. This is the foundation of remote work. Every remote company uses these things. You must know how to use Google Docs, know how to use Google Sheets, um, calendar. It's very important, especially if you're going for this virtual assistants. You need to know how to set calendars and all that. And the next one is Slack. Slack is where a lot of communications happen. Of course, you have to discuss with your team. You have to communicate with the team, right? So Slack is how teams communicate. I'm going to teach you how to use Slack, how to communicate with people in the company. Then there's Asana, there's Notion, there's ClickUp, there's Monday.com. These are project management tools that you must know, right? Now, these three tools I just mentioned, the Google Workspace, Slack, and Monday.com, I use them every day because the company that I work with, we use these things to work, right? We use Sheets. Sheets is where they put the information that I need or whatever I need. Google Docs, we use that a lot. Calendar, we use that a lot. Drive, in fact, my life revolves around Google Drive. I open Google Drive every day because all the documents I need, all the information I need is being stored in the Google Drive. So I open, in fact, that's the first place, that's the first thing that happens when I open my laptop to work. It's Google Drive. So you're going to learn all these things. Now, Slack, of course, we live inside of Slack because this is where we communicate. Slack is like our online office. That's where everybody communicates. That's where everybody talks to each other. And Monday.com project management. That's where I'm talking of my experience now, where I go to, um, update projects that I'm working on. So, of course, other companies use things like Notion, ClickUp, Asana, right? So you're going to learn all these tools. I'm going to teach you all these tools, in this course and how to learn all these things. Now, there's HubSpot, there's Zendex for people that want to do, customer service roles. If you're a customer service person, if you feel this is where you believe you're strong, you want to do customer service for foreign companies, I'm going to teach you the HubSpot and the Zendex and all these things you need to learn. Of course, there's Zoom, there's Microsoft Teams, there's Google Meet. This is where meetings happen. Like in our own company, we use Google Meet. We have meetings every week. In fact, some departments have meetings every day in our company. But my meeting, I have meetings every week. I have two meetings. Um, I have one meeting that happens every week. Then I have another meeting that happens every 2 weeks. Right. So we use Google Meet for that. Other companies use Zoom. Other companies use Microsoft Teams. So it depends on the company, but you're going to learn all these tools so that wherever you find yourself, whatever they are using, you will not be left out. You know how to navigate um, yourself. Now the next one is Loom. Loom is basically for recording videos, right? So Loom, we don't use Loom that much where I work, but I know there was one other place where I was working before this current one. We used to use Loom a lot to record stuff and send to each other. So the next one is Zapier and make automation. Remember when I told you about automation, right? Zapier, Make, and people use these platforms to automate things, to make things easier, to automate workflows. So you're going to learn all that. Metricool and Canva, these are social media management tools that different companies use. So you're going to learn all these tools. And not just this one, there are so many. I can't even list them. If I start listing them, this page is going to be longer. So you're going to learn over 20 tools so that you'll be confident no matter where you find yourself, no matter where you find yourself, no matter the job you find, you'll not be worried, oh, do I know how to use this? Or can I use this? Or you just know what to do. You'll be confident, you'll be competent, and do what you need to do from day one. The next one is model three. This is specialization, right? So you're going to learn all these tools, and I'm going to show you specialization. If you feel like you're a social media person and you want to do social media management, making content, scheduling, and or engagement strategies, you can specialize, go into that part. If you want to do visual assistance, you want to manage administrative tasks. I know business, a lot of businesses pay $500 to $2,000 for this per month. A lot of companies pay for this, right? Some even pay more than that. Some even pay more than $2,000. But I think the highest I've seen about 4,000. Someone earning 4,000 doing visual assistant, right? So I mean, it depends on where you land, where you find yourself. And customer service role, um, a lot of companies have. I mean, as a business, you need to have customer service. So they are looking for customer service. This is the fastest growing remote opportunity, and I mean, this is a role where I feel it's it's tedious, but then it's very good. You enjoy it. You make very, very good money. Content writing and copywriting. This is my domain. I write for a living. I write every day. I'm always writing something from emails, blog posts, social content. There's nothing I do not write. I write every single day. And email marketing, right? So these are all the things you're going to learn. WordPress, how to build simple e-commerce websites for lawyers, for bloggers, and without coding, you don't need to code. And we have lead generation, how to find clients, and how to find clients on Apollo. Apollo is a platform. You're going to learn that in this course, how to use Apollo. Is LinkedIn. We're going to go deep diving into LinkedIn, how to use LinkedIn as a tool to turn yourself into making a lot of money for yourself. And cold DM, again, I told you this is the one that I do every day. There's almost no day that I do not send an email or a message to someone saying, hey, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And you get replies, you get jobs, you get contracts. So you're going to pick one specialization that fits your strength or your interest and build a portfolio that proves that you can deliver results. Again, you can pick the one that fits you, the one that you feel you can do very well. I know how to do all of them because I've been doing this thing since 2013. So there's almost nothing that I do not know. But if you don't want to do everything, you can specialize. You can say, okay, this is the parts. If it's customer service, if it's visual assistant, if it's social media marketing, you're going to learn all the tools and go into several specialization of what you want to do. Everything is inside the course. If you want to learn everything, good for you. It's all coming inside the course. Then the next one is building your portfolio and personal brand. Now, the reason why I say I'm very confident, why I send emails, send messages every day telling people, hey, I can do something for you. I don't need to apply. I just send them a DM, send them my portfolio. It's because of my personal brand. I've built a personal brand. I've built a portfolio that, when people look at it, they'll be like, okay, this person can do something, right? So in this course, you're also going to learn, or in this model, you'll learn how to create a portfolio, even if you don't have any experience, any paid experience. Remember when I said something about volunteering? You're going to go deep dive. I'm going to show you all the tricks and strategies of how to get volunteering roles and what to do, how to do mock projects. So again, I'll tell you a typical example of a mock project. If you know how to build websites, you can build maybe 3, 4 websites, one for a lawyer, one for a blogger, one for a fashion brand. Build these things and just put them on your portfolio. Make it look like you did it for clients and write about it. Maybe write a case study and say, okay, this was when I built this for a lawyer and this, that, right? So again, these are mock projects, and so it's not like you're lying, but I mean you're showing that you build these and you're documenting the process. You're writing a case study for say for the project, right? So you're writing how you did it, your workflow, how you go into the explanation of everything about our project. So and it feels real when you do it, right? People look at it, they're like, okay, this person knows what they are doing, right? So again, in this model, you're going to learn how to optimize your profile, what recruiters are looking for. I'm currently recruiting for a role. I recruit for a role almost every time. I'm currently recruiting for one right now, and I looked at the form yesterday, and there's over 700 people that have applied. I've looked at about 100 so far, and I've not seen any competent person. I have not seen any competent person. Out of 700, I've looked at about 100. No competent person yet. So, in this course, you're going to learn how to optimize your profile so that you look competent. I will show you, you will learn what these recruiters, what people are looking for, what people want to see. Right? Some people had some good projects on their portfolio, but they were not showing it properly. They were not showing what's needed to be seen. There's certain things that I needed to see that I did not see. And of course, that would just make me put you aside and say, okay, this person doesn't know what he's doing because I'm not seeing the full picture. I'm not getting the full picture. So you're going to get templates, how to optimize this profile, how to write these proposals, how to build your personal website, and you're also going to get scripts, templates on using ChatGPT, how you can use ChatGPT to create professional copy, how to create proposal, how to do your content faster, right? So in this model, you would have a professional online presence that makes international employers think this person knows what they are doing even before they interview you. Now, in the fifth model, all the platforms that are hiring right now, not just Upwork, there are other platforms that I've not mentioned, and you're going to see them in the course. How to write proposals. I already mentioned this. Even when 500 people apply, how to stand out. Email templates. You're going to get several email templates. You're going to get interview preparation templates. The interviews, kind of questions they're going to ask you. How to ask for rates, right? How salary negotiation, right? Payment platforms that are working right now that you can use to receive payment. Currently, I use Gray and Clever. Clever is not on this list. So, but in the course, you're going to see um, several things that you are going to several platforms that you can use to receive payment. So at the end of this, you know exactly where to find jobs, how to apply effectively, what to say in interviews. There's no more guessing, no more I applied for 100 jobs and I had nothing. You have a system that works. Now, model six, when you finally get this job, how to succeed in this job. Of course, you need to stay there for long term, right? You need to give your best time management, communication best practices, how to exceed expectations, handling difficult clients, and setting boundaries, how to get more scaling from one client to multiple clients without burning out, right? Um, Creating systems that will make your life easier, that will make your work efficient, when to raise your rates, building long-term relationship that leads to referral. All these things are the things you are also going to learn in this model six. This is the complete course. It's a complete course. It has everything you're looking for. And this is the right course that you need to get if you want to succeed. But of course, there's more. There's more. There's more. There's a remote toolkit, the remote work toolkit. This is where you have the complete scripts, a lot of PDFs, templates, about 47 of them. If I have to sell 1,000, sell each of them for 1,000 naira, that is 47,000 naira. 47,000 naira. But this course is never 47,000 naira. I wrote 15,000 naira value. This is more than 15,000 naira value. Email scripts, proposals, templates, cover letter frameworks, everything, contract agreements, social media calendar. You're going to get tracking sheets, time tracking sheets, weekly planner, everything. This is going to save you hours and hours and hours of time when you begin. Of course, there's a private community. You're going to get access to a private community where there's going to be people like you supporting each other. There's going to be weekly questions, Um, you know, there's gonna be weekly live. Every week we are gonna come on live and we are gonna learn together. Ask questions, share ideas. Everybody will share what is working for them, what is not working for them. Is you see, you cannot put money on this community. You cannot. You cannot. The value of this community is just priceless. So you have access to that private community, weekly coaching, real-time support. You cannot put money on this. Of course, I already mentioned this. You have access to all the job platforms, the hot job platforms that are actively hiring, people like you. And of course, the ChatGPT prompts. There's about 50 different ChatGPT prompts that you're going to use, and that will make your life easier. So these are all the things that you are going to learn in this course. It is a complete course. It has everything. Everything. There's nothing that is not inside this course. And of course, once you know all these things, you're going to start landing. Now you might be wondering, does this really pay? Can you really land a remote job? Is this real? Can you really earn money from this? Yes, you can. And I'm going to show you proof right now of one of my accounts. Remember, I told you I use Gray and I also use Clever. I'm going to show you just the Gray account. I'm not going to screenshot. I am going to log in. I am going to log in and I'll show you so you see it live and see that this is not faking, this is not screenshot. So let's go into Gray. So I'm going to log into the Gray account. All right, so we are inside the Gray account. You can see, this is about $16 that is there. Of course, I always withdraw my money. Um, I always withdraw my money whenever I get paid. So you can see $16 in there. But let's go to transactions. I just want to show you this that's coming into this place. So you can see, right? You can see every 2 weeks, this is what comes into this account between $500 to $600. This is just from one company, just from one company. And let's go to page two. You see, every 2 weeks it comes in like clockwork. This is just one company. I don't even want to share my Clever because I'm trying to not expose myself here. But this is what happens every week. Can you see that? Every 2 weeks it comes in. Every 2 weeks it comes in $500, $600 every in so this is what you can get when you start earning in dollars, when you get a remote job. And of course, I don't know how many companies in Nigeria pay these amounts, or in Africa, depending on where you're watching this. I don't know how many companies pay this amount every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So let's say on average, I earn about $300 or 200, is it 250? Yeah, let's say on average about 250, $300 every week, right? So $300, do the calculation and conversion to, and you see that, how many companies want to pay you this? And this is just one. This is just one. You can get one, two, three, four, five, depending on how many you can handle. And you get paid like this every week or every 2 weeks or every month. I've said a lot. This is your time to take action. Take action. You've seen how um the whole thing works. You've seen how the skills you need, you've seen the platforms that you need to, apply. I've talked about the um cold outreach, cold email, cold DM. I've talked about all the other things that comes, the community. There will be a community where everybody is going to be in that community, where people will share their different experiences. And there's going to be a weekly call every week. Every week, everybody will come on the call. Would have a group call, and everybody will still talk and see, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what's working for me, this is what's not working for me, right? So it's just a lot, and you have to grab it now before it goes. Remember, I said the best time to start remote work was 2020. The second best time is right now. Right now, you have to take action. You've already taken the first action by watching this video up to this point. The next step that's going to change everything is to join. Click the link, take this course, join this course, and I will see you inside.